Hello, friends and colleagues. Um, my name is Julia, and I'm from Topfranchise.com, and I'm glad to start our global franchise conference. Founder and leader of our company, Vasil, will not be able to take a part in the conference on family affairs today. But he said, everybody, hello, and thank you for coming with us for this moment. So I think let's start. As far as you know, franchise market is now very popular and in demand in the world. It's very, very popular and very useful, you know it. So if you give a short answer to the question, what is franchise? Then this is an opportunity to start a business from scratch, but already under a well-known name. And buying a franchise helps you to start business with minimal risk. Our company, Topfranchise, a global franchise marketplace and franchising portal, Topfranchise.com, with a good mobile version, and you really should check it out. Topfranchise.com is a platform that provides great opportunity for the development of your business. Namely, we are kind of a franchise store where you can buy and sell. For buyers of franchises, our catalog is absolutely free and it is not limited in the number of actions performed. On page of the catalog, you can leave applications for each of the franchise that seemed interesting to you. And for sailors, for little money, we provide coverage all over the world, many times more than an offline exhibitions. And you also get leads for your franchise from all over the world. Our portal was launched in 2017 and its traffic grown every day. Now our monthly audience is about 170 visitors. Our goal is to increase it up to 200 per month. We cooperate with over 100 countries. So we're not just like, online catalog of franchises. We are a team of expert lawyers, a team of international specialists who will help you to present your franchise and hold meeting with your buyers. We participate also in international exhibitions, Paris, Beijing, Dubai, London, New York, and many other countries. You can see it at our website. You can find there a lot of photographs and many information about our participating in exhibitions. Today we invite here speakers. I want to say thank you to speakers who will be today with us. It's very important for us to hear you, to know that you are with us, and just to feel you, So the speakers, we have gathered young speakers here, but with the growing companies from all over the world. We'll be our listeners can answer questions, write down questions, and we will of course answer each of them. So the purpose of our conference is to share the experience, to show people that it's not scared to start your own franchise if you want to get successful business. And really, is franchise is some kind of tool to be successful and to get a lot of money, without no risk, as I told it before. So I would like to introduce our first speaker, Matus. Are you here?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
No, Matus. We're talking about Matus right now. He'll be the first speaker. He'll open our conference. I can see you well. Hello.
Hi.
Are you ready to start the global franchise confederation?
Sure, of course, it's a pleasure to be here, and it will be a pleasure to introduce maybe our company, our experience, and maybe share our knowledge, what we did, and hopefully it will be some sort of inspiration for all the listeners.
I think we should help so many people to be strong and to understand that it's a good business to start franchise, really. Okay, Matus, you can start.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much. First of all, I really appreciate for having me today. I'm glad that we can speak about our experience, because I believe that these kind of events can be great source of learning for all of us. I mean, all of us are looking at some sort of inspiration, and that's why we are here actually today. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I represent the Donuteria on international markets. I give you a short introduction of our brand. It all started more than 5 years ago. Our CEO founded the company in 2015 while he was still working as an investment banker in London. Pretty much traveling through the world, he discovered that people worldwide were willing actually to wait in lines to get a fresh donut. He was pretty much amazed about popularity of this product, especially in the US and Canada. And what was for him kind of surprising moment was that the taste was nothing special for him. It was neither design of big chains or a customer experience. And this inspired him to deep dive into the donut business. And actually, after a successful pilot launch and operation, it was time to try it as well as a local franchise. With no prior experience, he gathered a team of people and created the first franchise package for a local franchising. And actually, in the first 6 months, more than 25 licenses were sold. So it means all relevant towns were fully booked out by La Donuteria. And actually, this was the point where he understood the benefit what we created, and we started to look at the international market. Of course, considering that COVID was just rolling and nobody knew what's happening, we started to work on our international kind of expansion and try to imagine to sell a franchise food concept in pandemic, right? It's extremely challenging. And everybody was saying that it's nearly impossible to step into the market, and there is no way we can succeed because the competition is too big. And actually, at the moment, the food business, it's not so proper way to start kind of franchising. However, I mean, here we are today. We have currently branches in France, Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, Spain, Hungary, Cyprus. We actually, during the last summer, signed up our first partnership for branches in Saudi Arabia and as well in Egypt. And of course, we have more going on discussion. But let's talk for a while how we did it, because I think it's important to understand. So, first of all, we understood the market and the potentiality. At the moment, the distribution in a donut segment is divided mostly among big chains and maybe a few independent stores across the few countries. So the person has actually two options what he can do. He can either start his own business and, put lots of money, lots of time into the, research and development and trying to figure out whether the concept will work or whether it doesn't. Or he can actually purchase license from some other, a franchise or like the big chains. However, you will agree with me that if you want to step into the market with some established partners, like really big names, it's very expensive. And actually both ways are very expensive. So it means it disqualifies a huge amount of self-motivated people that actually want to become owners of their future business, right? And we saw this as a huge opportunity in the market. And, we understood that the donuts market is growing. It should reach about 60 million or 65 billion US dollars in 2025. So we really asked the question, what we can do in a different way so we can get quality people working with our brand and trying to make a good living. And basically this question led us to our concept. And basically, we understood right from the beginning what we want to create. And we created like affordable business that will generate enough value for owner with efficient return on investment and a community that will follow, share, and talk their story. So we created kind of handmade gourmet delicious product based on our secret recipe. All these we packed into eye-catching design shop with award-winning customer service. And we communicated with our community on our social media. So we are very powerful on Facebook, Instagram, and others. And all together makes from La Donuteria love brand. Meaning that this is our momentum, which we leverage everywhere where we go. And we understood one thing, that at the end of the day, it's not about purchasing the donut. Donuts are what we sell. It's a product. It's a concrete product. However, we want to be perceived as a place where guests will get feeling of pleasure, a reward, something where they go at the end of the day and they're really pleasantly surprised about the experience from the person that sells, from the donuts, from the design, and so on. Because we understand that feeling drives the purchase, and that's why we do it. Because actually we want to generate a good feeling, and the donut is the products which we use to make it. So basically, this is a little bit the short story, what we do, how we do it, and actually why we do it. And at the moment, especially during the times like we live nowadays, it's very complex to start your own business, or maybe it's too expensive to start some international franchise opportunity. And that's why we are offering something different, something which has the international appeal, which has a strong brand, which has a perfect knowledge and the know-how that we can share with our partners. But on the other hand, we are offering in an affordable way. So it means we do not want to disqualify people who are passionate, who want to start something on their own, who are truly business people, who really want to change their lives. We really want to encourage those people to really look at the opportunities out there and choose the best that will fit their needs. Of course, we are here, we are trying to do our best. And of course, we are learning, because I think the whole process is the learning. And yeah, bigger we are, better we become, because of course, the knowledge and the experience that we can share between each other is improving, and we are becoming more powerful with all our shops that we are managing and that we are running. Okay, so this was pretty much all I wanted to share with you, because of course I consider it as important, and I'm very grateful that we got this place and this opportunity to share our kind of experience, what we do and what we do actually in our daily lives. And of course, at the end of the day, I would like to share with you maybe one video that we created that will be published soon on our channels. And I think it as well perfectly reflects the emotions that we want to create with our product, with our winning award customer service, and with our gourmet delicious product that we are baking in our shops. So I don't know if Yulia can share it or if I can share it on my screen. I'm not sure. Give me a second. Okay, perfect. Now you should see my screen, right? And now I need to share sound. Perfect. Now you should see as well the sound. So okay, guys, so that was the video that I wanted to share with you, and I hope that you enjoyed my short presentation. And I guess I can give the word back to Yulia, or if she has or anybody else have any questions, I can answer, of course. Yulia, I guess you have to unmute because people will not hear you at the moment.
Right. You hear me now? I'm here. Thank you for your speech, Matus. It was very interesting. And I repeat one more time, we really appreciate that you're here with us and you are sharing your experience. And it's very important, you know, for everybody and for us, first of all. And thank you for your video. It was very, very good to see it, and the music was very perfect. So thank you very much. So do you have any questions to Matus? Okay, just technical checking to be sure that you still have any questions, maybe. Okay, no question, because I think that it was the first. So Matus, I'm sure we'll have questions for you later. So I'll send it to you and we'll make some kind of answering something. We'll make something to answer people. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Bye bye, Matus. Bye bye.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
You too. Okay, guys. So let's continue our conversation. And I see Albert is here with us. Hello. How are you? How are you?
Good.
Oh, you're
Very
so
good,
smiling. You have a good mood today, huh?
Well, actually, to be honest, I'm supposed to be at home because I hurt my back yesterday. I had to go for Tramadol to kill the pain. Tramadol. Yeah.
Now it's okay.
Yeah, I'm on painkillers now. It's okay.
Okay, you're a strong man, huh?
I am a strong 65-year-old man. Yes, thank you.
Oh, I thought you were about 40, huh?
Champagne and vodka.
Oh, this is the secret, huh?
Yes.
Okay, I'll remind you. I write it down just not to forget to use it also. Okay, Albert. So, what country do you present, and can you tell us about yourself, your company,
Yes.
your
Please
about
allow
okay.
me to share my screen. So, you know, a picture tells 1,000 words. So let me share screen. Yeah. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Okay, can you see my screen? You can see
Yes,
my
yes,
screen,
Albert.
right?
Yes, yes, yes. We
Okay.
can see it perfectly. You can go on. Okay.
Okay,
Good
good.
luck. Good luck. Mhm.
Thank you. So this first slide is to tell you that we have been, I have run this company for almost 33 years. We have already built more than 1,300 franchise systems in Asia. And I have partners in almost 60 countries. There are 80 of them. And then we are quite crazy. We go to 30 franchise shows every year. So, you know, every month, you know, almost more than 2 times we are away. And we have won, thank God for that, we have won many franchise awards from many nations. And I'm also the publisher of Asia Franchise and Business Opportunities magazine. So let me just very quickly. Let me go right to the front. Okay. Well, we have been named as the oldest franchise consulting company in Asia. So in Singapore, as you know, everything is transparent. So you can check with the registrar of companies to find out about us. I actually started off as a master franchisee of a franchise consulting company based in Norwich, England. Yeah. And then by 2004, I've changed the name of the company to Asiawide Franchise Consultants to reflect that Asia is a booming region and that franchising will do very well in Asia. Now, these are our strengths, which I will elaborate as we go along. So we do everything related to franchising. We build franchise systems. We audit existing franchise systems. We act as broker or middleman between franchisor and franchisees. We publish about franchising. We even help companies that want to change their operating manual, or they have some problems with their franchisees in Asia. We can act for the franchisor and go, and audit them, or to even close them down, if they refuse to close because they were in breach of some important clauses of the franchise agreement. We have also been engaged by many governments and chambers of commerce and universities to give franchise training. So we have our clients come from many industries, from food, education, health, wellness, retail, and others. Just to give you a taste, we have clients from the letter A to the letter Z. Okay. And for Asians, they know these brands are all very famous. So some of their logos are here. I will not bore you with them, but these are all very famous brands in Asia. And this is our magazine, which was launched by the Singapore government 28 years ago. It is still the only franchise magazine that is in English and Chinese bilingual. And I personally have spoken in 46 nations, over 300 occasions. And you can see from this slide that we are very active. And when I was younger, I had lots of hair, okay? It's all gone now. I even spoke in Libertex, in Russia, yeah? And This slide, you can see a lot of famous personality like AirAsia. They used to be the #1 budget airline, right, from Malaysia. And these are some of the results of our brokerage. We have brought many different brands from different countries, and then we bring them to different countries. We have now the world's largest network of franchise consultants. Right now, it's almost 80. I hope that the number can grow to 100 before I turn 70, which is 5 years from now. These are our milestones. I think the impression we want to leave to our clients and our friends is that we pursue excellence. We want to be the best. We want to, be remembered as always putting in our best and giving the best work to our clients. And I represent Singapore at the World Franchise Council for 30 years already. So every year we meet in different cities. In fact, just 3 years ago, we met in Moscow. We celebrated our birthday, 30th birthday in 2019. Okay, my latest award is Franchise Expert of the Year for ASEAN. As you know, ASEAN is the 10 countries in Southeast Asia. This is who's legal. Normally, they just list lawyers, but I'm very fortunate they listed me as one of the top practitioners in franchising. This is in England. I'm sure you know that quite a few faces there, including Pete Wilkins. Yeah, so they listed us as one of the top 20 players. A lot of people may not be aware, but currently the world's largest franchise show is in Beijing, China. It's a huge show and every booth is beautifully decorated as if you are walking into a cafe, or you're walking into a retail shop. They really, really make every booth look really nice. I've done 3 projects for the Singapore government, so they gave me an award. I wrote a book with a few lawyers. This book is called Developing and Managing a Franchise, published by LexisNexis, an American publisher. These are just some other activities in different parts of Asia. Even in Cambodia and Myanmar, they were franchise shows. Of course, the last 2 years being the pandemic, all the shows were either cancelled or they are online. So it's virtual shows. So I'm a board member at these places, and I'm still advisor to the Taiwanese Franchise Association. And I've been interviewed on TV and radio, etc. Okay, I've spoken 5 times at the IFA convention. As we know, the IFA has the largest franchise convention in the world. So I've spoken in different cities, Las Vegas, New Orleans, San Antonio, 5 times altogether. If you were to visit my LinkedIn, you'll find that I'm very active. Every month, I will do a posting on franchising. Every month. So all these are all the webinars. Just over the last 6 months, I've done almost 20 webinars with different countries. These are the latest ones with the Japan Franchise Association and with the Korean government. This is my company address. Now, I just want to share quickly the situation in Singapore. Now, in Singapore, being a very, very, very small country with just 5 over million people, smaller than Moscow, just 700 square kilometers, very small country. But our government is very supportive of franchising. So there's this agency called Enterprise Singapore. A lot of Singapore companies that engage my company to build franchise systems for them, the government pay 80% of my fees for them. And if franchise companies want to register their trademarks overseas, again, there is funding. It's not loan, it is a pure subsidy. Meaning, if you were to register, let's say your logo, your trademark, or your patent in another country, and let's say it costs $2,000 US, the government will foot 80%. Yeah. I see Hendy just signed in, my good friend from Indonesia. Yeah. Okay. Then next, our government even go to the extent of publishing books for prospective franchisees, to take free of charge. So we have it in English, we have it in Chinese, we have it in Malay, so that prospective franchisees can study, what are the steps, what are the things to look out for before they join a franchise. And that's for franchisees. The government even has a booklet for people who want to be franchisors, called Set It Up. So these are books which very popular, they're all gone, but in my library, I still have a lot of them. Yeah. So you can see the Singapore government is very supportive, not just in terms of money, but also in education. Okay. And even in intellectual property. Yeah. And of course, when franchisors based in Singapore go overseas, to exhibit at franchise shows, food shows, again, there's subsidy. So it's a very, very, very business-friendly country, Singapore. Okay. And our association has a lot of lofty goals to make sure that, franchising will thrive in Singapore. So I will not go into detail. So I hope that, you will visit our virtual show, which is next month, in November, next month, on the 25th and 26th. And there are lots of seminars on, please sign up and, listen to all the speakers from around the world sharing their knowledge and insight on franchising. Okay, so with that, I will stop and I thank you for your time. Bye for now.
Albert, you finished?
Yes, I finished. Yes.
Yes. Okay, it was very interesting, and you have a big experience in this way. So it's very pleasure to hear it and to listening to you. Okay, thank you very much that you're here with us, and we really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Take care of yourself. Bye. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and I would like to remind our listeners that they can leave their questions, write down their contacts, so the people can connect them, our speakers, can connect them later and to talk and to answer the question that they have. Okay, so and it's just wondering if it's possible, listeners, can you write down what countries are with us right now? So just for us to see that you're here with us, you see us, you hear us, and it'll be very, very good if you do it. Thank you very much. So as I see, we have another speaker here. Is this Hendy, right? You are here. Hello, do you hear me?
Hi, hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, yes. How are you?
Very good, fantastic.
Fantastic.
Okay,
how's the weather?
Yeah, well, I'm staying in Bali now in Indonesia, so
it's
starting to rain season. So, but overall, it's perfect.
Okay, it's very, very good. So you ready to start with to share your experience and to show us your business, to tell us about yourself, your company, your franchise, and about yourself. Okay.
Right. Thank you very much, Topfranchise, for inviting me into this session. It's a pleasure for me to share a little bit of the condition of franchise industry here in Southeast Asia, as well as the F&B businesses that we are running and operating here in Indonesia, as well as in Southeast Asia. Albert Kwong is actually one of my colleague, one of my good mentor as well. I learned a lot from him, so it's a pleasure to have a same session as well together with Albert Kwong. So here I already prepared my slide. Most of my slides are using Indonesian language, but I will try to explain and use the material in English as well. My topic will be how can we be successful in this pandemic situation, and of course, how can we keep growing, especially during this F&B business on this pandemic situation. So a little bit of my slide content will be the Rafi milestone, our company, our business, Rafi, and of course the opportunity of F&B business, why it still keep growing, and how to build a strong and powerful F&B business. And as well, the last topic will be how to grow our business, especially during this pandemic condition. So a little bit of my story. I started with a capital of $400 with small push cart, very small outlet in the vendor of the street that we started. So with a capital of $400, I started my first stall of selling kebab. So this was me when I was still in the age of 19. So at that time, I sell my first outlet with only one employee. So it started with 3S, small single steps. Yeah, and then we're very fortunate that we are able to grow and scale our business internationally. So not just in Indonesia, but as well as global in 10 different countries. We started in Indonesia, but we are able to grow and scale the business in 10 different countries. So that was something that we like to expand and grow our business, not just locally, but also overseas. Okay, and then next slide. So from our first business of selling kebab, called Kebab Turki Rafi, we are able to expand into different other group holding. So this is the business that we have grown. First was called Kebab Turki Rafi with over 1,300 outlets. Then we are able to grow and scale different brands such as Nyapi, and then Ngikan, and then Kekinian, Juice and Shake, and Menanti. Menanti is our latest brand. We start in this April during this year, and up to now we are able to open 117 stores of Menanti. Menanti is a beverage business, something like chat time, tea business that we are able to grow and scale the business. So a simple question, why F&B business is still growing? The answer is, of course, it's human needs. Everyone needs to eat. Is a human thing that everyone needs to eat. So of course, F&B is a good opportunity to grow and scale the business, especially during this pandemic situation. And why is F&B very interesting to do? Because there's three simple answer. First is easy innovation. To start F&B business, everyone can do with a simple menu. Nowadays, we can do using cloud kitchen and use the online ordering as a part of the marketing tools, and it's easy to start. So everyone can be a F&B-preneur. Second, the flexible of the location. Before, we need to do very high rent costs. The rental are very high. But nowadays, due to the online and the cloud kitchen situation, it's easier for us to start a business anywhere. Even though we start from our own home, our own kitchen, to start promoting our business. And then the third is, of course, the potential profit that could be very high due to the innovation that can expand into maximum profit. But there's also challenges. I have to say, during F&B business, there are also challenges. First is the high competition of the people that enters the F&B business. So it's not easy because everyone is now pivoting to doing F&B business. And then the health protocol of food safety issues becoming another challenge, that we have to follow the health protocol based on the local regulation that government has make some rules about it. And then the disruptive technology, the changes of technology. Like before, people buy menu food offline. nowadays are dominating by online. So like myself, I'm now in Bali in my hotel, but I order my food using Grab Food, Shopee Food as part of the easiest way in ordering our menu. Then, of course, pandemic happened, business changes, and we have to adapt with the situation that based on the business that we are running now. So the challenges in this pandemic situation, we need to be more selective. People consume more selective product based on what is more healthier and good for them to consume. And then online connected, we need to provide our business online ready. So not to be digital, but you have to go digital. That is the answer of the agile in this era. And the last one is easy to reach. So we need to expand our business from the franchise model so that able to expand the business not just locally, but of course across the region and nationally in the country. There's always an opportunity in every crisis, and there's always a new hero that born in every crisis. So how to build a successful F&B business? Of course, building an F&B brand and F&B business as a franchise is not easy, but there's always a way. And I will give some quote on how to expand from one simple business to 12 different business and expand more than 1,500 shops across 10 different countries. The key is don't rush the process. Good things take time. So as long we follow the process, there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. In this way, it's easier for us to grow and scale our business. And the last is how can we grow our business, especially during pandemic. Rule number one, simplify the process. We need to simplify every process of our business. The easier the process, the easier for us to franchise our model as well. So make sure our model is simple. Based on simple preparation, less contact, quick service, and clean and hygiene. These are the way that we are able to grow and scale our business. And then this is the simplify the process. This is Baba Rafi Plaza, our head office, the plaza that we operate to run the HQ of all our business operation. And second rule is redefine your customer. We have to understand our target market. We have to understand the demographic of our customer. In that way, easier for us to do marketing based on the consume and behavior of our target market. So find out the trend, what is happening in the market. We have to understand the buyer persona, as well as competitor watch. We have to see what is our competitor doing. And by then, we need to adapt and modify based on what's happening in the trend itself. So this is a story of how we open more than 100 shops in 4 months called Menanti. Menanti is our brand that just recently launched this April. And by 4 months, we are able to grow 100 stores. The key is the great storytelling. We are using a local influencer. These two are local selebgram in Indonesia that's very famous in Indonesia, have millions of followers, and we invite them to become our partner in Menanti. So by having their fan base as part of our marketing strategy, it really impactful in not just in creating the hype in the product itself, but as well creating the hype in people who wants to join the franchise business itself. Same business, same strategy that we do with our brand called Nyayap. Nyayap is a Korean chicken wings that we try to adapt based on the local taste that people are accepting here. And the rule number 3 is set your marketing plan. There's no formula to success, but if you have a plan very well, then and execute very well, that will be make your business easier to run and grow in the future. So by using social media and then collaboration using KOL or influencers, key opinion leader, that will be easier for us to promote the business and use the online channel as part of the delivery to grow and scale the business itself. So by using a great marketing plan that based on the target market, like example, our brand called Nyapi, we have 80 restaurants of this brand. We are targeting millennials as our target market. So we use TikTok, Instagram, filters that is adapt with the local audience that are using social media. Menanti that I mentioned before now already have more than 600K followers in the updated account in Instagram. And rule number 4, the last, is to improve the unique selling point. We have to improve our unique selling point based on the added value that makes our brand different with our competitors. So this is the grand opening of our Menanti stores. Every week we open 8 different stores each week. So that makes the brand grow very fast. This is our other brand as well. Most of the brand are working together with KOL, key opinion leader, and influencers that have a lot of followers. So last but not least, this is my final statement for today's presentation. So social distancing is not the new normal anymore. It's not the next normal, but this is the now normal. The condition where everything are online. We have to take a seminar through the webinar and ordering food through online, buy things on a marketplace. So by using this, we have to adapt with the condition. So be agile and stop dreaming, start doing. Collaboration is key. Yeah, create added value and keep networking. Yeah, and yeah. Of course, there's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. We need to go step by step in each process. By doing that, and the agile spirit that we have in our business, in our company, that makes us grow and scale during this era. So that's about it. That's from me. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Hendy, thank you very much. You hear me, Hendy? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you very well, Manager Topfranchise.
It's very good. My name, I told before, my name is Julie. Maybe you didn't hear it because you were out of the conference. Okay.
Yeah, Julie.
Thank you for your speech. It was very interesting, and we really appreciate that you're here with us. I really, really thank you very much. And so I ask you to leave your contacts under the broadcast, okay?
Of course, I will write our website.
Okay, website, email, maybe telephone number. You can you can leave them there, or you can write down to us. We will make it. We'll make it to move there. Okay, if you want. If it's okay, we see it. Okay, we'll make it. So thank you very much one more time, and glad to meet you and glad to hear you. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so let's continue our conference, Global Franchise. And I remind to our listeners that you can leave comments under the broadcast, and you'll find there the contacts of our speakers, and you'll be possible to answer questions to them. Okay, so now I would like to hear Konstantin. Are you here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hi,
hello,
colleagues.
Konstantin.
Hello.
I am glad to see you, to hear you. How are you?
Me too. Everything's fine, thanks. And you?
Oh, we too. Thank you very much. But it's
Little bit
really
busy.
cold, you know. It's very cold in Moscow for today. So, but we are getting strong, and everything will be fine. So, you ready to share with your experience, to talk about your company?
Yes, sure. I'll be very glad.
Okay.
So today I represent the company called Libertex. It's a group of companies that was founded in 1997. So let me show you our brief presentation. Yeah. Yeah, so Libertex group of companies was founded in 1997, and since that time, we are now present in more than 100 countries with a team of more than 1,000 people from more than 37 nationalities. Actually, what we are doing, it's Forex trading, and we provide a platform for traders where they can enter financial markets. So for many people today, it is well known. For someone, it seems from different from some different planet. But let's speak in some easy words about what's trading and what we are doing. So we provide easy access to financial markets where people may trade some shares. They may trade some cryptocurrencies, for example, metals, some indexes, for example, agricultural means or gas, oil, etc. And they can keep these instruments or do some transactions with them. So why do people trade actually? Someone sees easy elevator for success, and unfortunately such people in most cases lose their money. Some people see this opportunity of investment as, for example, saving their money for pensions, and such people choose very stable shares of companies like Coca-Cola, for example, or McDonald's, and they just want to have a wealthy pensions, and they keep these shares for years. Some people become professional traders and they make it profession. Or someone, for example, makes trading during coronavirus crisis. We know that from 80 up to 90% of companies were unfortunately influenced by corona crisis. Some of them even closed, and our business is one of the spheres that has a boost during that time. And people were trying to save money in our sphere. And many of them did it by diversifying their businesses, for example. And we have successful examples of businessmen who saved their capital by investing into some cryptocurrencies or shares. And at the moment, they reinvested this money in real sector after the market became stable and people understood how to live in conditions of corona crisis. That's why it's one of advantages of our business. Also, our business is not influenced by any kind of crises. And if there is an economic crisis, I'm not now saying about coronavirus. Anyway, we are growing because traders, they make transactions on the fall of the market. So this type of activity may touch everyone. It's not for businessmen only, it's for all people, because I think that everyone heard about Elon Musk tweets, or everyone heard about Evergrande company that now can collapse in China, and it will lead to another economic crisis that was in 2008 and influenced pockets of all of us. That's why understanding of financial markets, it's crucial not only for business, not only for income, but just for common life and just for your common activity, because it will make you save your money and capital. And coming back to our business and to opportunities of our companies, so what we propose, we have licenses of practically all possible countries and markets, so we have access practically to all countries. We have all instruments, more than 250 trading instruments. We are present practically in all parts of the world. You can see our offices worldwide, and our company proposes a partnership via franchise. I even can say that it is more like a model of partnership than franchise, because we don't take any kind of royalty payments. We have quite nominal franchise fee of only $30, And we share our clients from the region with our partners, as well as we share 50% of marketing costs with our partners. That is why I may say that our franchise, it's more like a business opportunity where both sides, together with our company, take risks, and where both sides share revenue and share profit together. So if our franchisee starts losing profit, it means that Libertex company will also lose, because we invest in marketing and we co-invest in office costs. That's why we are patiently negotiating with all of our franchisees, trying to understand if we met a good partner. So we invite you to become a partner of our company or a client of our company if you want to invest into your future, or if you want to save your money during coronavirus crisis. And we will be very glad to provide our support, provide our instruments of a big international company, and of course our experience, because we have lots of experienced specialists in their field who will assist you in your business. And it's also one of our advantages that we have a very good educational and supportive team. So this is some statistics about our clients. Not to overfill you with information, like let's skip it. We provide our own trading instruments and we develop our own platform. It's also what we are glad of. We have a very big team of IT specialists, nearly 200 people. And as you can see here, we have practically all popular trading instruments of financial market. So in several words, I can say that that's all about our franchise. Maybe if you have some questions, or you would like to know some information additional about our company, I will be glad to answer these questions, and please do not hesitate to contact me. Here's my contacts. I will also leave them in the chat, so I will be very glad to communicate with you. And also I will be glad to meet our colleague speakers for cases of promotion of our franchise in different regions of the world. So thank you very much for giving the time for a speech. And maybe if you have some questions, I will be glad to answer them.
Oh, Konstantin, thank you very much for your speech. It was very interesting, and thank you that you are here with us, and we really appreciate you and your company. And okay.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I also want to thank you, because such events are very important for making a network and for finding new contacts. And also thank you, Topfranchise portal, for your organizational work and for what you do, because it's really nice and successful to cooperate with you. Thanks.
Oh, thank you for your reviews. It's very nice and very pleasant to us. Thank you very much, Konstantin. Thank you. Okay, so don't forget to leave your contacts under the broadcast, or if you can send it to us. We'll leave it instead of you. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
To contact, because we have some questions. People are asking how to contact speakers and where to find the franchise. So it's working, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks a lot.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Konstantin. Glad to see you, to hear you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. So we're still continue our global franchise conference. One more time, thank you that you are with us. You're listening, and you contact here like as speakers, and we really appreciate, and thank you one more time. And I remind that listeners can write down any questions to speakers under the broadcast, and we'll answer it, of course. So now I would like to introduce you the next speaker, Sergey. Are you here? Okay.
I am here. I hope my voice is also with you.
Yes, it is.
Should I introduce?
How are you? Okay, let's start. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm not the American, so I'm not asking and neither replying. How are you? Unless I have intent.
So you know that I'm very, very fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been talking to you quite a few times.
It's very good. So if I remember that you're in Moscow now, right?
Yep. I'm in Moscow for the last day. Tomorrow I'm departing to Belgrade. So if anyone from Belgrade have a chance to meet each other. Yulia, I will attach myself to Konstantin what he said, thanks to Topfranchise.com, because the international development that we actually achieved, 23 countries in just 2.5 years, is like 90% because of cooperation with you. We tried many other platforms. I can name those of them, but we remain only with you. I mean, this is the most successful. You get the quality leads. So I mean, I just saw that someone asked the Ultra Time asked how you see the opportunity to expand to the international market. If you have the product or if you have the service to sub-license, go to franchise.com. I mean, that's my personal experience. I'm the founder and the CEO of the company called Verbatoria. We are rooted in Russia, and I'm so glad to be here in a company of the businessmen whose business was growing and booming in the time of coronavirus. My business was not booming. My business was not growing even. We survived. We learned a lot of lessons out of this crisis, and I want to share it with you. So if you want to see a miracle now, you can go and have a coffee in 15 minutes.
No, we'll listen to you because I'm sure that you'll tell us something interesting and share your experience. And okay, start. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Yeah. Okay, can you see my slides now, Yulia, right?
Yes, I can see it. Perfect.
Yeah. So now you know how my son looks like. This is my son.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like you. You know, I just thought that something same, but then you said it really.
Our international and still growing company has started with my personal project. Let's call it project, to help my son and to help me as a parent to understand his brain better. I intended to know what he can do best of all. Not by teaching him a skill and measuring a skill, but knowing in advance what is the best way for him to go. What's the easiest way he can actually follow. Because he's autistic, and with autistic spectrum disorder, you have a limited ability to communicate, and you have to invest a lot of time until you get the result on the path of the development. So I'm not a psychologist, neither I'm a teacher. I am a mathematician, graduated from the Moscow State University. So I just, devoted myself to find a technology which will help me to measure his brain. So it all started as a personal project with no intention to have a business. I was a successful manager in multinational company. And in 2016, that project has gone so big and has drawn so many attention from families like mine and friends and their friends. So we started to build a company out of that. We call it Verbatoria, talents by brainwaves. So we measure brainwaves and use the modern science to identify talents or giftedness or resourcefulness and make an advisory out of that. Our service is pretty much simple. You do a 30 minutes test with a neural sensor on your head. It works for children starting 4, for teenagers, and for adults. My client today, my personal client today, was a 58-year-old woman. My eldest, my most senior, was 78 ever. So it's never late. to know yourself better, to know your way forward better. Out of this test, out of this 30 minutes test, we don't record any answers. We only record brainwaves. We identify resourcefulness in 7 areas, and then based on that, automatically algorithm will provide you fully automated report, detailed advisory. It's easy to run. That is probably why we are expanding so fast. No special stuff required. It was designed by me without any psychological background or educational background. So I intended to build a system which I can operate, right, without that skills. No space required. So you don't have, at least in the beginning, to rent a space. You can go per hour rental offices. You can go customer location and do the test. You can do it anywhere where condition, meets very general requirements, very simple requirements. So basically our service is to assist families to choose kids' future based on inborn talents rather than on the skills, because skills are always about our past. Skills is what our parents invested in us, our teachers invested in us. So if I was not invested in music, as I wasn't invested in music. So I never played any musical instrument. I never spent an hour on a music skill development. So if anyone will test me today, my skill will be 0, but my potential is there in the brain. It's still there. If I will start any day soon practicing music, to some extent, I will develop this skill, right? So resource in the brain is there to develop music. So that's what we measure, resourcefulness in a particular area, and compare them to each other. Don't benchmarking to the average, to the standard, nothing like that. We are now we started in Russia. I had operated my own 2 locations. Soon I realized that I can no longer be possible to focus on the technology, improving accuracy of the report, adding value into the report, monitoring signs, which appears and appears globally. So I have to detach myself from that, focusing my team on the technology and letting commercials flow across the globe without my control. So we decided to go with Topfranchise.com international on a franchising model. Now we have 23 countries from US. It's a little bit outdated map here. You see in the United States, we now have 5 states with Verbatoria in it. To Hong Kong, I mean, Singapore, Indonesia, China, you name it, 23 countries. Still a long way to go. We just started Africa. We don't have anyone from Latin America. Europe is very weak covered. 120 franchisees. No one will become a dollar millionaire with us. So the service and the franchise that we offer is the side revenue for the family or a hobby revenue for the family. You will raise up to $3,000 to $5,000 per month. Depends on your time spent on making Verbatoria in your city. I hope my English is okay and understandable, but if anything unclear, just type a questions. I will respond it. So yeah, let's talk about the momentum, not about the brightness of my company or brightness of the future, but what's the momentum? The momentum I want to share with you is what are 3 key lessons learned out of the COVID crisis I have. Number 1, I call this let them go. When the first wave came last spring, that was scary. I mean, no one knew that time how long that will last and what it will cost to us. Will we survive as a humans, right? As a mammals, will we survive? That was the question. So my natural intention was to keep my partners alive at any cost, at any my cost, right? At any headquarter cost, at any licensor cost. So I spent quite a lot of efforts to keep them on board. And in the end, I realized that whoever wants to go will benefit all the advantage that I provide him and then go, just eating up the resources. Anyone who has the intention to use Verbatoria after all this crisis ends, who sees this franchising as an asset for the future, as we see our apartment. You don't give up your apartment because of the COVID, right? Because you see it as an asset for your future, and future will come, right? So the moment I realized that, the decision was simple: let them go. So we stopped all of our supporting programs, except for very special one. So on general, there was no support after the first wave. So we lost like 30% of our franchisees. But after the second wave, I haven't lost even one. We haven't lost even one. So we remained with the core of our franchisees, right? Who shares the values of the franchise. And, you know, we solved #1 issue of any franchising, including yours, whoever listens to me, is a quality control. Unless you have a proper quality control in your franchising system, you don't have effective franchising. It can grow, it can, you know, be stable, it can be profitable, but it will die unless you have a proper quality control. And COVID helped me to implement this quality control very organic, very naturally, by implementing this simple rule: let them go. So starting last autumn, I haven't lost a single location. We gained, only gained. The second, invest in new product. So my intention was, okay, let's freeze investment, let's freeze a little bit. But then on online meetings with my partners, with my sub-franchisees, I saw a scare in their eyes. How can I, you know, calm them down? I showed them that we know that the future will come, that COVID will end. And our belief in that, I realized in releasing to them a new product, even though they cannot use it, because our service is full offline. You cannot do Verbatoria online. You need to sit next to your customer, put a headband on him, right? You cannot get any revenue. You are just locked down, zero revenue, but you still have the belief that the future will come. And the company, the head company, the licensor believes in that, right? So that's what we do. We invested in new product, and this became, by the way, the top selling product now. 100% of our customers, they purchased that in addition to the standard neurometry test. Number 3, again, in very organic, very natural desire was to decrease our marketing spend. But that was soon realized that that was improper decision. So we changed it to the opposite. I increased, compared to the normal time, our marketing efforts. So we subsidized even marketing costs of our partners, because we soon realized that parents sitting next to their kids understand them better, understand the issues of the kids better. When you do this online study, sitting next to your child, and you see that probably you are wrong about his future. And my guess was that when lockdown is over, extra clients will appear in our locations. And that was true. After each of the wave of the lockdowns in every country we are in, our partners enjoys a temporary but extra demand for their service. So say they have like 50 customers on average per month. So after the lockdown, immediately after the lockdown, for 1 or 2 months, you have 60. Around that, I give you just rough numbers. Just because more people realize that they have an issue with understanding kids' future properly. So those are my key takeaways. There were a lot of minor things, you know, financial stuff, but probably that will help you to make a better business in the future, in a future crisis. So educational market, edutech market we are in, or I call it sometimes edutainment, a mix of education and entertainment, because some of our customers, they come just to our offices just to entertain themselves, which is a good thing. I mean, I don't care about that. But edutech market specifically suffered and changed and transferred a lot because of this offline. A lot of online services, they were booming. A lot of offline services like mine were at least suffering. I would say like this, because for periods of lockdown, you don't have revenues. Luckily, as a headquarter, we were quite stable, able to support whoever wants to remain with us, as I spoke in the beginning, right? But our end, you know, our sub licensees, they suffered without the revenues. But let's compare what was on the market and what helped us to survive, what helped us to become, you know, even in a better shape after the crisis, not saying growing, in a better shape. So lockdowns moved education services to online, and Verbatoria is full offline, right? Sitting next to kids during lockdown enlightened the issues. So we see extra demand, right? Many offline edutech services went dead because of fixed costs. So Verbatoria partners, they enjoy no space, no staff, and very, very low royalty, right? And it's a very low, it's flat, it's transparent. So unless you decided to go off the business, you can maintain that business. That's the cost of your apartment rental, much less, okay? What we see is that regions, in terms of globe, in terms of the COVID, in terms of those waves, are very, very much different. So we had to apply very different scenarios and different supporting measures to a different regions in a different time. First one to recover was Russia, obviously, because of no strict lockdowns, no long lockdowns. First to invent vaccines, so people become not as scared, because even they don't get vaccine, but they know that they have vaccines, so someone else vaccinated, so I should not be scared too much, right? Followed East Europe. Now we have very, very growing demand and business in East Europe. Except China, as of now, all of the regions are okay. I would say they recovered, they are up to normal, back to the levels of beginning of 2020, when we started to see the signs of this decline in the market. So it's not yet 2019 in terms of the normality of the market, but it's going, you know, steps and steps to that. The last one is New Zealand and Australia, but we see the signs that they are recovering, and we have our first partners in New Zealand and a good track with Australia. So I see 2022 year as a year of very careful recover in our niche market. I know I worth to mention that all other niches are booming. So in our niche, it's a careful recover. And I do believe that low cost will take advantage, because people still don't have that clear understanding when it will all end. So anyone offering them to buy a very luxury franchising opportunity, I would not say that will be a decision, the mainstream decision in the franchisees market. Now they become more careful, shorter period of returning the investments. So those are my takeaways from the crisis, for you to share a little bit of my company, and I'm glad to be here with you. Now can I answer your questions, or I can do it later in wherever.
You can make it under the broadcast.
Okay.
On
Okay.
the configuration. And you know, Sergey, thank you for your speech. It was very interesting, and I think it will very important for our listeners. And you know, I would like to. Can you close your
Yeah, I can, of course.
presentation? Yes, of course. And you know, I have one question for you. What can you advise? What advice can you give to companies that want to enter the international market, but they are afraid to lose or to?
Number one, make sure that your product fits to that market. Unless your product really, you will be wrong about that, quite sure. But even out of the gate, you don't have the belief that your product fits to the market. So we spent 3 years to enter United States market. And those 3 years we invested to enter there. And it took us just a week to adjust our product to finally fit it. You know, we spent 3 years in 1 week. And when we did this, it just fit to the market needs. And, you know, we just saw the market is big. Let's go America. America is very, very different. Asia is very, very different. So make sure that your product by its nature, not by the pricing, not by the, you know, marketing sales channels, but the product itself will meet the demand, will fit into the sales channels, into the demand structure, stuff like that. Who will be your end customers? It may very, very vary, unless you sell pizza. I mean, pizza is simple, right? But even I would not say any business is simple. Sorry for that. And second advice, go to topfranchise.com.
Thank you very much, Sergey. It was perfect. Thank you very much. And you have really, really beautiful son. Thank you. Okay, have a good day, and thank you that you're here with us, and we really appreciate it. And thank you one more time that you're here.
To the next
so don't forget that you can answer. You have to. No, don't forget that you have to leave your contacts under the broadcast, or you can leave it here and we'll hand it over. Sure. So it's yeah, how you choose, you can do it. And so you can answer the questions under the broadcast to our listeners. Okay?
Sure, will do.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and we are still moving on with our global franchise conference. I'm talking now with listeners. One more time, please ask questions. Don't be afraid. Just ask what you need to our speakers, because speakers are successful. They have successful business for now, and they're really ready to explain everything, to share with their opportunities, and to explain how to be successful businessmen. Okay, so the next speaker is Felix, our old friend. Felix, are you here? I don't hear you. Don't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Hello, Felix.
Can you hear me now?
I'm Julia. Yes, I hear you. I see you. And I'm glad that you're here, you with us, and you will share your experience and will tell something interesting to us, to our listeners, and we'll really appreciate this. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Ready to start?
Thank you for this opportunity. Let me share my screen. One moment. I got it. Share. One moment more. Can you see my presentation now?
Yes, Felix, I can see it.
Okay, one moment. I have to do something different.
Okay, we wait for you. Don't hurry up. Just do what you need to do, because for us it's very important to listen.
You can see it. You can see it in the right way, Julia, right now.
Yes, I can see you right. Yes, okay. I can see.
From my point of view, the right time for your franchise to expand to Europe, because I'm from Europe, is right now. And let me tell a lot about myself. I'm Felix de Wit. I'm from the Netherlands. I started my career as an officer in the Royal Dutch Army. Afterwards, when I resigned, I was a real estate agent, but it was a too small business for me. So I decided to make little things big, and I bought a master franchise for an international brand in the real estate industry, REMAX. I'll tell you later why I did it. And since 2009, I have my own company in a franchise development, consultancy and sales. Because of my experience as a master franchisee, I have now 23 years, and I think I can do a lot for international franchisors to develop their brand to other parts in the world. This was the real estate company that I joined, and why I started to join REMAX, because I wanted to change the real estate industry in my country. The opportunity to build something for myself, but not by myself. That's actually a benefit of being a franchise. You are the owner of your own company, but you can share the experience with the rest of the world, with all the franchisees, and it makes you much stronger. And I'm a winner, and I always like to join the best, and REMAX was and is the best in the real estate industry in the global world. In the time from 1998 to 2009 that we get the crisis, I sold more than 150 franchises for a brand. In 2008, I had 100 open offices in less than 10 years. But then we get a real estate crisis, and actually that was a tough period for all of us. I sold my company and I started my existing one, and our services, and what we always say to our clients: to build a big business, you need a small focus. So we support international franchisors to develop their franchise, mostly in the European continent, but I can help franchisors for the rest of the world as well because of my international franchise network. We are in a situation now with the pandemic, and I always see a good franchise organization works exactly like a virus, but then in a positive sense. Someone gets infected with it, then it infects the other, and if everyone does their job very well, then transmission goes very fast, and the franchise becomes a treat to the competition. That is why the big brands are competitors. They are spreading like a snowball to all of the world. The actual situation because of COVID at the moment, there have been at least 62 million reported infections and 1.5 million deaths caused by the virus in Europe so far. At the moment, Netherlands is we were back to normal in summertime, but actually the numbers are increasing now, and that's actually unbelievable because almost 83% of our country's adult population is full vaccinated with 2 shots. So we expect in all of Europe, we see things changes. We are now red countries, and we expect that most European countries will make new COVID regulations in Q4 2021. And that can be a benefit for the franchise industry as well. I told you during summertime we were back to normal. All companies were 100% back in business. We get governmental support during the last 1.5 years, and it ended on October 1st. And because the numbers are increasing now, we get in my country, the Netherlands, we get next week a press conference, and we expect really that we're not going to a tough period like we had before lockdown, but there are some regulations coming in. And every disadvantage has advantages, was a very famous soccer player, Johan Cruyff, always telling, and I can use this in my daily business as well. The situation in the franchise industry in Europe. Europe has one of the most developed franchise industries of the world. And many franchisors expand their brand across Europe by recruiting masters. I always give the recommendation to my clients to work with a master franchise. That's very good for your span of control. You can stay with your focus in your local market, and your master franchisee will roll out the franchise network. He will sell the units in his own territory. Before COVID-19, we had every year exponential growth, and we see the industry is coming back. The franchise industry actually is having a booming business now, but it's normal. After a crisis, always the franchise will grow because business owners are looking for new opportunities to survive a crisis in the future. The development of franchise in 21-22, the market for new franchise development around Europe will remain robust and strong as it was ever before. That's an excellent reason to start a business during a down economy. Actually, in my company, the economy is not going down, it's really going up at the moment. And yes, it's a great time for many entrepreneurs' dream. A lot of people that are on a payroll in a management job, they like to look for opportunities to start their own business. And most of the people, more than 60%, especially in Europe, when they start an own business, young people, they are looking for a franchise company. As smart investors will always make money, not excuses. The 5 excellent reasons to start a business during the economy that we are in right now. The materials and goods are much cheaper. The number of competitors is down. A lot of companies didn't survive the crisis. So that means there's a lot of opportunities for the franchise industry. People are always looking to save money. You can save a bundle of interest. The interest rate is very, very low in Europe at the moment. And people are always looking for innovations. And actually, a few of my existing clients, they are very innovative franchise companies. I tell you later about them. What we see going on now, we see a lot of conversions. Existing companies that are existing a long period of time, they will franchise their business right now because of the lower cost. I told you the span of control, simply management, a faster expansion, the market penetration is going much better and faster, a greater commitment. They don't have to recruit people on a payroll and the international potential that they will have for their brand. How to expand your franchise globally. Stay focused on your active business and work together with franchise consultancy that knows the industry. You meet today several people in the franchise industry. I saw one of my colleagues from Asia, from USA will follow. They can help you when you want to go global. Get knowledge about master franchising when you have questions about it. The company that I'm working with, Topfranchise.com, they know a lot about it. You can ask questions and I will explain everything that you need. We take care for the legalization of your franchise agreements and franchise operations manual. You have to realize that the franchise law is different in all continents. The toughest continent is the USA, but Europe is a tough franchise legalization as well. Find good consultants that can help you to make the best possible documents. Take care for the registration of your trademark in WIPO, the World Intellectual Property Organization in Madrid. Know how to sell franchises. We can offer, Topfranchise.com and myself, my own company, can offer you franchise trainings or your master franchise trainings, how to sell franchises. And I was myself with the feet on the ground when I bought a master franchise, spent a lot of money, and I really didn't know how to sell a franchise. And I was trained. I sold in the first 10 years more than 150 franchises. It's a tough business, but it's easy when you know the tricks and the tips that you have to use. Support always your master franchisees because they are your most important asset, and focus on your market share. That's the most important when you want to expand your franchise globally. Follow them. In 2021, we have already many international franchisors made the right decision to expand their brand as a master franchise to Europe. Here are some companies that I worked for with the last 6 months. There are companies from Russia, One Glamping, ID World, One Price Coffee. We're just starting with them. We have Healthy Five, that's an Australian brand in the honey industry. Allegia Real Estate, a company in Spain owned by Russian people. And then I just was working the last month for Saya Brasserie, that's a company in Dubai. And I think we are going, all the documents are ready, the legalization is ready. And we are now working with a lot of people to make them enthusiastic to invest in this franchise. Ego Digital Business Card. This is an incredible great franchise owned by Mr. Devlopment in Moscow. That's actually a home-based business, and you can do it part-time. When you want to know more, you can contact me about it. My message is follow them, make a smart decision, expand your brand to Europe. Stay focused. The pandemic won't change the franchise industry. It will open closed doors for you as franchisors. Many franchisees will join. As a human being, I personally have the opinion that the pandemic won't go away. We only have to handle it. And for example, in the summertime, we all in this country were thinking, wow, it's behind us. We are going back to normal. And now 2-3 months later, we see it's coming back. So make a business opportunity and take care that you know that people in the pandemic are going to be nervous. When they have a company, they will join a franchise. So the right time for you now. As an existing franchisor, show leadership to your network. Your franchisees are your most important assets. As a business owner, you cannot work without clients. Your clients are paying your bills. Your clients are your most important assets. And in a franchise company, your franchisees are always your clients. So, ladies and gentlemen, the right time for your franchise to expand to Europe is now. I thank you very much, Topfranchise.com. Incredible company, and a franchisor has to be on your portal. There's no doubt about it. I see it on the Ego business card. We are there now for 1 month and we get leads every day. When you want to have my contact details, scan the QR code, or when you want to have your personal Ego business card, you can ask me as well. Till so far, my presentation, Julia. When there are questions, please ask your questions. I'm very happy to answer them.
First of all, Felix, thank you for participation in our conference. It's very important for us, for listeners, and for the whole world, I'm sure. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And so, I would like to ask you a question your opinion, of course. How do you what should people, listeners, do to enter the international markets if they are a little bit afraid, of missing their money and missing business, and just tell some few strong words to people that to believe in themselves and go to the international market, because and I understand that international market is a big place to get successful business and to get a lot of money and to get a lot of everything good things. Just
very good question, Julia. Just like the former speaker was telling, take care that your product fits in that market, but you don't know it because you don't know the culture, you don't know the market. That's one of the reasons I tell you, go to people like me or one of my colleagues in the world that can help you. Take care for good legalization, because, for example, when you are a franchisor in Dubai, you don't know the European law. And therefore, I recommend you work together. Don't lose your focus. Work together with franchise consultants that knows the local market, that have experience in the franchise industry, and that can help you that you don't make mistakes. When you don't have the money available, I know there are a lot of governments, a lot of countries that the government will help you after this crisis to finance business opportunities. And when you and I don't know exactly in all of the world what's going on, but there are some European countries that the governments have budgets available to make dreams come true. So probably that's another reason that it will be the best time to make your personal dreams come true. And as a franchisor, afraid to cross the border. When McDonald's came to my country in 1968, that was a tough time, and the first master, they lost the battle, but that's not the problem. The new one is growing incredible, and you know all these brands. That was a time that they had to make a decision to cross the USA border, and they did it. And you see now the USA brands are incredible all over the world. So what I see right now, when I see a lady, a young lady with an incredible brasseria in Dubai, and she has the opportunity to go to the rest of the world, then you must have the guts to do it. Must have the guts, you must be smart, and you must be powerful enough to hire people that can support you and help you in that. And I can write books about it.
And I think it'll be successful books, huh?
That depends on the human being. Success always depends on the human being. You can be, I know for sure there are McDonald's franchisees, they failed in the past. They bought an expensive franchise from McDonald's in the USA and they failed. That's not because of the franchise, that's because of the human being. I always say, just like a car driving, everyone with a driving license can drive a car. But sometimes I see in my country a drive is hitting a tree. That's not because of the car, that's only because of the driver. You must drive a franchise in the right direction to make it successful.
Okay, thank you very much. And I have one last question. How to choose a good franchise?
There I can tell you a long story. That's not easy to a franchise had to fit to your personality.
Mm-hmm.
For example, myself, I should never join myself as a franchisee. I'm not a food guy. So running a McDonald's restaurant or running a restaurant at all is not matching me, Felix de Wit, as a human being personality. I'm more a person that can join an innovative franchise, a real estate franchise, but that depends on yourself. Where is your passion? Where is your charisma? And where is your experience? And when you have no experience in the food industry, it doesn't matter, you can learn it, but it must match with you as a human being. And that's the most important. But when you know or want to have recommendations, they can contact me, no problem, and I can give them the right recommendations about it.
Perfect. Really perfect. So Felix, I would like to ask you to leave your contacts under the broadcast, or you can send it here to us. We will hand over it. So what way is good for you? Just do it, okay?
I sent it to you. I sent it to you. No problem at all.
Okay, thank you very much, Felix. Thank you that you're with us today, and thank you for your speech, and thank you very much. Take care of yourself.
Thank you very much, Julia, and my compliments. You're doing a great job. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Felix. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, listeners, I'm reminding you one more time, you can leave your questions under the broadcast, or you can leave your contacts and ask somebody of our speakers contact you. So just do it. Let's talk. Let's discuss. Let's just talk about the franchise. And I would like to introduce my next speaker. Vladislav, he must be here already. Stanislav, yes, hello, Stanislav. You hear me? I don't hear you.
Hi, everybody.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me right now, Julia?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Okay.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going interesting, you know, speakers speak very interesting, and I hope listeners will take some advices and will go on and move it on. So you ready to start to share your experience, to tell about your company, your success, and about yourself?
Great. So let's start with just a little, let's say, teaser. So to the previous speaker, much credits for asking and for aspiring to get abroad and to not be afraid of getting abroad. So that's the teaser, that's the actual map, which doesn't fit, let's say, doesn't fit well on one screen. That's the map of Algorithmic's presence. So me development for Algorithmic School, which is the, let's say, Russian-based or Russian natively based franchisor and a school itself of programming for kids from 6 to 17 years. So for kids, let's say after school age, school and after school, but pre-higher school age. And that's the actual map of more than 62. Like we are let's say, we are not keeping pace to update all of the maps because the countries are adding, like almost each week or each 2 weeks, new country, new school is opening somewhere. So that's the actual map of 55 countries. But at the time of, let's say, yesterday, we got 62 countries open. Some of the countries are covered fully, like Spain or like, I don't know, Azerbaijan, Brazil. So some countries have got, let's say, the master franchise for the whole countries. And some of these franchisees are regional or city-based franchisees who had some few districts or who had both the, let's say, their ability to sell and to teach the students on some, like territory inside the countries, which may be like just a small, but very like consistent territory with enough students to be taught. So that's the actual map. And let's begin with what we got to tell to those who, first, to those who may be somehow aspiring to go abroad and or aspiring to become a franchisee for the business that, like, the type of that I speak on behalf of. So this type of franchisee is actually educational tech, let's say, business, a programming school which provides the franchisee with all of the necessary materials and much of the necessary, let's say, product and expert support to conduct and to open their first programming school for kids. It usually takes, and it should take, 6 weeks. That's, let's say, the normal term from, let's say, opening the school to the opening and acquiring the first students. That's the process of 6 weeks. So we consider that's somehow very smooth process of onboarding new franchisees, and we consider that's great, and it's it's easy to run, and it's easy to establishing and to get on board. So on the concept level, what's the Algorithmics about, and what's the tech school could allow the franchisees to do. So that's first of all, the mission is to teach as much programming, as much children around the world as possible to the key skills of modern world. The key skills, like to Algorithmics, are the programming courses. First of all, there are some few branches that are not exactly let's say, connected with the coding itself and writing the code, but these are somehow, let's say, digital skills or deep digital skills which are considered, let's say, necessary or much demanded by the kids or by their parents around the world. So Algorithmics is expanding rapidly with this product. It's the product is, let's say, well established, the flow is smooth once again, and partners are acquiring, let's say, week by week, new partners, new countries or new cities are opening these ones and starting to acquire their own kids into their own schools. Programming and mathematics are, let's say, two basic and, let's say, key two basic underlying keys and topics, let's say, which Algorithmics is providing. Programming is, let's say, once again, number one. Mathematics is not on spot, on spot just right now. So let's just take a look at what we got with this, what Algorithmics got with these few years. So now it's we saw the map. The map is more than 55 countries right now, which includes more than 300 partners. So who are franchisee, who have somehow bought their own, let's say, franchisee package and started their own schools. Not all of these A's are actual key, because we have much more than this. And let's say there are more cities and more points that we could pin already here. So it is expanding. Once again, it is expanding, and let's say it is growing like this. So for all of these who, I don't know, maybe considering, for franchisors who may be considering going abroad or going widely abroad and much, let's say, much further than they got before, I don't know, maybe these figures could somehow inspire them, and maybe these figures could, let's say, give their first, let's say, I don't know, maybe that might be the first, let's say, step towards thinking much further abroad than some territorial or narrow franchisors had done before. For those franchisees who considering opening, these are the actual, let's say, in one way or another, these are the actual figures that reflects the actual demand, which is growing as well for these skills that are taught by algorithmic schools. So the greatest number is growing, and even in this pandemic year, with we understand everything and stuff, but this, let's say, the acquiring of graduates who are the kids from 6 to 17 years, it's growing, and it has grown twice, and it, for some partners, this is grown triple, and it will, and it just keep growing, and as you can see this. So what is so special about this algorithmic tech franchise in schools and tech franchises? So it is like had a really strong focus on methodology and course development. So the curriculum is the development of the curriculum was let's say made with the participation of very, let's say, highly professional multidisciplinary professionals, very experienced in launching international education programs and the courses, using very modern methodologies and keeping these methodologies up to date. So the quality of the product itself, which is taught, which is reselled, let's say, by the franchisee, and which is taught to the students, is very high. And the software and the, let's say, soft side of this product is LMS, learning platform, and unique platform for learning management system. That's a platform for keeping kids and keeping teachers in, let's say, in some environment where they do get the interaction and where they do get the courses done, and the franchisee as well is, let's say, monitors some of the key classes indicators, and to be honest, all of the indicators which is necessary for him to monitor how the classes are going well or not well, and how the classes are going. And more than this, Algorithmics is packed inside the, let's say, inside the kit, which is ready to go. So once again, if there is enough investment, the franchisee could, let's say, start with this. If franchisee is able to, I don't know, if he has the willingness to start, if a franchisee has at least, let's say, 15,000, that's the average amount just to start for the first year, to spend into the first year. That and if he is, let's say, able to at least starting with some marketing and let's say parents or kids acquisition activity by himself, or with hiring some marketing team, or in any way, in any shape or form. If he's somehow ready with this, so he's targeted to acquiring some students and to raising this by himself. All of the above, let's say, much of the above is provided by the franchisor, the extensive support, the let's say the high qualified courses, great, well-supported learning management system inside with great statistics, great analytics, and let's say, and all of these like growing and let's say support to extend and expand its own presence onto the territory. So what's inside the courses itself? There are some courses, as I told you, are connected with the coding itself, and some courses which are connected, let's say, I don't know, let's say blogging or somehow some digital skills which are closely connected to those which are just highly relevant for the kids just these days, and which is somehow let's say just relevant. Yeah. So what this package includes and what is allowed to those who just stepping in. First of all, that's the plan and detailed consultation and instructions. The training of the teachers, which will be on board and helping in hiring the teachers, which will be on board and doing the teaching itself. The extensive marketing and plan, which we have like just a different section we have just for this presentation for the assistants which we have on marketing and sales to establish the sales of these courses. The development of new courses, as I told you, the system is keeping up to date, and it's never keeps stagnant, and it's developing and just staying relevant and high quality. So the courses are updating and keeping very consistent and let's say expert level. As I told before, personal, which is connected with planning, with establishing a site, let's say almost free, and establishing the website, and which will be the tool for acquiring a new parents and kids, and the personal mentors who are just mentoring and helping with all of the steps with the expanding of the franchise on the ground. And more than this, there are almost no language borders, but there are a few languages that are very well developed for Algorithmics right now, and much of these courses are let's say all of these courses are translated to English, are translated to Spanish, much of these are translated to German, and we could let's say proceed with this list. There are much of the other languages which are on demand or already were on demand, somehow translated, and the language was transited to the language with the local which the local market actually needs. So once again, the franchisee, it probably not only about Algorithmics franchisee, that might be for any franchisee, that franchisee let's say expected to be passionate about the, let's say, the sphere of the franchise or the let's say the product itself. Our product is education and technology, and let's say these like-minded people are very welcome to join this, and probably passion is the number one, the key to start. So more than this, there is expected some operational running of the business. So franchisee doesn't work like just works much like the usual business, but with very let's say extensive support and ready to sell product. So daily running should be expected as a, let's say, as a main duty, just to keep yourself just to keep your expansion into the territory and keep acquiring students, just to do it, just to do the business. So somebody, maybe not the buyer of franchise itself, maybe, I don't know, maybe his relative, his wife or her husband, but they might in any way just do some, let's say, operational stuff. And more than this, obviously, it seems like very much entrepreneurial type of business. So it's not a managerial position. It's much of this entrepreneurial, and some of these, some of these key qualities of entrepreneur are requested, or I don't know, are expected as well. And for us as well, for maybe much of the franchisees, yeah, you're expected to become part of a global team if you like it, and if a franchisee if a franchisee is inspired by this idea, that's great. That's let's say the starter or the keys for the franchisee who is great at what he's doing in his expansion inside the territory in which he operates. So how it is going on the ground? So on the ground we have some few calls with the managers of Algorithmics who are just doing, so let's say, not onboarding but qualifications, who are trying to, let's say, establish just the key conditions of opening a franchisee, the territory itself, the potential market. We do ask to provide some, let's say, slight research on the market and to build a financial model itself. And then the franchisee, the potential franchisee, is the provided to the qualification, which is his application based on these, let's say, few steps which we got before. These steps may take it may take a few weeks. So for somebody it may take longer, it may take months. That much depends on the franchisee, let's say, availability and the desire of franchisee to push it further. Depends much. But in general, it takes from few weeks to few months. And after we got the application qualified, the agreement is signed, and the lump sum is let's say paid, and the setup is starting. We'll just cover in just another section. The setup, as I told you before, could or should take a 6-week period. So 6-week period, we assume that that's like an optimal term for this. This includes just getting acquainted with your business mentor, who will be like the manager, helper, inspirer, and I don't know, and first line supporter, and so on for all the further expansion issues. The training itself for the partner, just let's say that's then boarding itself for 3 weeks, setting an exact location to start, recruiting and training teachers, well, let's say for a few weeks, and once again we board on the 5th weeks them. Setting some operational stuff and getting their first leads and their first students, and then with getting the students and teachers and the product on the board, just to starting with the first groups and starting the classes. 6 weeks is a nice timeline, much as I told before, so pretty smooth, and as long as Algorithmics has got let's say the track of onboarding for more than 30 Hungarian partners already, the potential franchisee could be, let's say, much, let's say, confident, and let's say he got his back. He got his back on much of the issues. That doesn't mean that these things like just happens by itself. So there is much operational and entrepreneurial qualities and duties that should be like done, let's say, on a day-to-day basis. So that's just the running and operating, just say usual business, but very extensive support once again, and ready to make and ready to be sold, pretty, let's say, pretty much high quality business. So what could expect a franchisee or a franchisor when visiting some, let's say, website, let's say, like a huge listings aggregators as well as such as, let's say, Topfranchise.com and stuff. So it helps much for us, for ourselves, the Topfranchise.com, with keeping the let's say highly the qualified leads who are getting their qualification done just, let's say, just by entering the site and just by providing their engagement with the qualification form that we provide, the first qualification form, and just by proving the interest on sending their application, just the application itself. So that's a great source from which we daily got a significant amount of very, let's say, qualified, and very appropriate leads just to enter this track of becoming a potential franchisee. Sure, this track is not for everyone, and there might be some factors where let's say this cannot end up with just happy ending, with happy signing the contract. First of all, the territory might be occupied as already, or maybe, I don't know, the franchisor, the franchisee doesn't meet the expectation of the franchisor in terms of the financing or in terms of marketing experience, or maybe, I don't know, maybe just potential franchisee just takes some time to get some break, I don't know, or to do some, I don't know, some internal research or research of the territory, or just, I don't know, just needs to be kept in, let's say, I don't know, let's say, silence and being with just his duties, like daily duties, and not entering the franchise. That's okay. They just keeping, let's say, they just keep in touch with the team. But for those who are well intended, for those who are not in the occupied territories, there are this, let's say, this Topfranchise.com is like a great entry point. It's a great entry point for starting, let's say, first of all, qualifying, and then to starting launching just after your qualification is done, and the payment, let's say, the terms and conditions are signed, and when we got with this paperwork, just the launch. So that's what we got for just a slight, let's say, overview of what we got for today, for the audience. Probably we're in time, right? So we are out of time right now. So
yes, Stanislav, your topic was very interesting. Oh, what?
All right. So do we have some few minutes, or are we done with this and we will proceed to the questions?
If you want something to say, of course, say. Of course, of course you can say.
Maybe I could just, or should I just emphasize once again, the support is extensive. The support is extensive, and let's say the product is highly consistent and well developed and well updated. But if a franchisee is aspiring to join, there might be some passion. There are expected to be some passion, some entrepreneurial skills, some, let's say, for the first year, some investment amount ready to be made by himself, and here we are. Here it is. So there are some expectations from the franchisor, and I hope that Algorithmics like meet the expectations, like match the expectations very great, and maybe just over let's say just twice or I don't know. So just the over let's say, just keeping up and much upper than those expectations that we got before, because like Algorithmics might be much greater inside than you would just expect it, just not keeping in touch with this. But after Algorithmics has matched and I don't know, like has answered with a great service and with a great product to your expectation, Algorithmics as a franchisor just expects from the franchisee to be just to be kept just as a very, let's say, reliable and let's say like chain of a huge, let's say, worldwide chain of franchisees who is entrepreneurial, who is passionate about what he's doing, who has some bodies to conduct the operational stuff, and who has somebody to conduct the marketing, which is very and selling, which is much important just to keep the franchise expanding on the territory. So here we are with this, let's say, I don't know, expectations, or but not the request. It's much of the expectations, very great expectations that two sides are expected to see from each other, and that's a great mix of starting a very successful and expanding local franchise unit. Thanks for listening. Maybe questions, some more.
Oh, Stanislav, your speech was very good and very interesting, and for me it was amazing. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that you're here with us, and I remind you and asking you, please don't forget to sign your contacts under the broadcast, or maybe you can send us here to us, and we'll make it for you instead of you. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Because I think, yes, you should answer some questions. So just don't forget to leave your contacts. Okay. Thank you very much that you're here with us once more time. Thank you. Okay. Okay, and now I would like to introduce our next speaker is our partner from USA, Alex. Alex, hello. We don't hear you.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing very good. And you?
Excellent.
Perfect.
I'm good.
So,
do you have my presentation up?
Yes, we wait for you.
You have my presentation or no? Or am I going to pull it up?
I'm not sure that we have, or we have. Okay, we have. Yes, we have it. You can start.
Beautiful. And I can control this, or?
You can control by yourself, I think. Oh, no, unfortunately, only we can control it. Alex, very sorry. Is it comfortable for you to speak like this way?
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
Or you can turn on your presentation by yourself if you want, or you can leave it for us.
Yeah, you can just handle it. That's fine.
Okay, we'll do it. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Hello. How's everybody doing today?
They say perfect. Yeah.
Oh, good. Perfect. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about franchising in the United States, what's going on here in the market. On behalf of my good friends at Topfranchise, Vasil and Victor, who are doing, absolutely amazing work. I've watched these guys' careers. I've been in franchising for 25 plus years. I've worked for some of the biggest brands in the industry, REMAX edible arrangements. I've been following these guys. We've been on the speaking tours together. In Korea and all over the world. And, what Vasil and Victor are doing at Topfranchise is absolutely amazing. Their knowledge of the market internationally. So listen to these guys. They know what they're doing. Follow them. I'm real proud of what they have accomplished in such a short period of time. So I'm going to talk about franchising in the United States, a little overview of the U.S. market. The market here in America, it is, the Mecca for franchising. It has been here forever, not forever, but 40, 50 plus years. Everything that is here in America is pretty much franchised. It's a very well-established market. So we're going to talk about some of the key entry plans, how to enter in, and give you an overview. I'll let you know when I'm to switch it, okay? On the PowerPoint. So, and we'll talk a little bit about, generating interest. If you do think that your brand is, capable of making it in the market, there are a lot of brands out there that I go and I see at some of these trade shows and I just shake my head. They shouldn't even be franchising in their country. Just because, it's important to prove your business concept. Make sure that it's profitable before you even get into franchising. Start and open up several locations. I see way too many people try to chase the gold, chase the money, and not do the right thing. And then what happens is these, they collect a lot of money up front. The franchises, implode. They don't succeed. And a few years later, they're gone. So there's a lot of junk out there as far as franchises. You have to be careful, but there is some amazing, amazing brands. And when you do it right, especially here in America, there's probably a good 10 to 20 new brands that come to the market that will do $3 to $5 million their very first year in franchise fees. This market here is very accepting. We're essentially a huge melting pot. And what's going on right now here in America is that many people are, our age here in America, we're sort of older. We're an aging population, and the amount of people, it's 10,000 to 20,000 individuals, probably higher than that number, that turn 65, and people are retiring early. Now you put into the effect of COVID, people don't want to go back to work. So what are they doing? Everybody realizes here that you can't just stop working because you'll end up in a nursing home in a couple of years or dead. So they want to continue extending and doing some type of business, going into business for themselves. Entrepreneurship is at its peak right now. It's never been stronger. So what is the best alternative? It's franchising. It's so accepted here. The market here is great because it's hard to get into. It's not easy. You have to file FDDs, you have to file with the states, but the protection here in this market with trademark and IP protection, the legal system. We are an extremely litigious country. We love to sue. We're run by lawyers. I mean, it's almost, in a way, it's a joke, but from a business standpoint, you are very protected. Your brand is very protected. Unlike when you go into other markets, it's not as protected. So next one. English is the one more back. English is the predominant language, but this is changing. Within, I would say, 5 to 10 years, Spanish is going to be the predominant language here in America, which is very interesting. So, you have to prepare your franchise, for not only just English, but Spanish-speaking individuals as well. Very, well-established supply chains, whatever it is. Obviously, we have some major issues right now with logistics, ships and truck drivers, but that's a temporary thing that, the news likes to exploit, to increase viewership. So it may look scary now, but that'll work itself out over the next 12 to 18 months. Access to capital and financing. We have amazing programs where people can tap into their 401ks here, and the market, the stock market has gone up, exponentially. People's IRAs, stock options, and stock portfolios are great avenues to tap into assets to purchase their franchise. So it's obviously capital and financing is abundant. Next one. When I say this is not a homogeneous market, it is. What I mean by that is the market is so different. I'm from New York. I'm right outside of New York City. I speak a little bit faster. I want to get straight to the point. You go down south in the Carolinas or the Bible Belt or even in Florida, although Florida is changing, a lot of the Northeast people are moving down there. It's a different market. It's more about building relationships. It's about talking a little bit slower. So the market is very, very different. I mean, if you don't understand the market, it is completely different from when you go into New York City to Midwest to out West or to the Southeast or Southwest. Very, very different markets that compromise this huge melting market. So that's important because the way you market your brand, the way you penetrate the market, these are all important factors to take into place. Next slide. So options for doing business in the U.S., from a development standpoint, if you're a foreign, I'm not sure exactly what the audience is, but let's just say we're talking about a foreign brand coming into the U.S. The best options for you, company-owned locations, unless you have somebody here that can operate it, that you trust, or you're going to bring one of your team members over to head that up. It's an ideal situation, but it's an extremely costly one. I'm dealing with a client right now that has brought a Japanese concept over, breakfast concept over, and they're in Soho, New York City. It's great that they have opened the location, but there are some downsides to that. It has stalled their growth and their delay in expanding overseas. Joint ventures, master franchising, finding a great master franchise partner honestly is the best option for most international brands. Someone that is experienced, someone that is there are a ton of these Orange Theory guys or some of these other very well-established brands that have grown and made millions of dollars off of their multi-unit brands, maybe sold them, are operating them, are looking for the next best thing. Master franchise offers you a unique opportunity in this market because they're, most of the domestic franchisors here in the States don't want to do are not going that route. They're not even giving, some very few are giving up area developers or state development rights, but most don't. They sell single units. So it's an opportunity to bring your brand into the States, align with some incredible operators that understand the market, that have, boots on the ground, and we have extensive databases, relationships with many, of these multi-unit operators that are looking for, international partners where they can essentially become the franchisor, the master franchisor in this country. And now you're aligned with a great partner, and your learning curve gets reduced, and your chances of success are much higher. So, Topfranchise and Global Franchise Exchange, my company, worked very closely with international brands to assess if you even have a shot of making it. I mean, if you haven't even succeeded in your country, it's not even a point to try to expand internationally or come over here, because you'll get sniffed out real quickly that you're a lot of smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors don't work well here. We don't represent them. Topfranchise doesn't represent them. And the American people, what happens is you may be quick out of the gate, but what happens is they catch on to you, and it's not a good thing. So we work closely with people that are interested. There's a lot of barriers. There's a huge pot of gold at the end of the rainbow here in America, but it has to be the right brand. Next. So again, well-established franchise business. Anything and everything that you go do pretty much in the States is franchised. I went and purchased my house. I went through a franchised real estate company. I went through the mortgage. It was a real estate franchise company. I drove my car. I bought that from a franchise. I went out to a restaurant. I bought that from a franchise. I go to a gym. It's a franchise. I go and bring my kids to a school. If there's a preschool or kindergarten or cottage, it's a franchise. Everything and anything is in America is franchise. When you have a great franchise system that provides incredible, what differentiates good from great. And I've been in 25 years, like I said, in the franchise industry. It's one common denominator that differentiates good from great. Good is okay, decent training support. People, the franchisors that offer it, there's training support, there's systems, they may have an excellent plan, but the great ones, the top 25s, the top 50s, the ones that succeed, the ones that have double-digit year-over-year growth for their franchisees in the network, it's all about training and support. Creating the systems and the process, the blueprint, and then training and supporting your franchisees. Slow down the growth. Make sure that those first 5, 10, 15, 20 franchisees within the system are successful. Spend 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to make them successful. And then what you have there is a foundation that you can build on. And the great ones are the ones that beef up their teams, their training and their support teams, and just give killer service and support. Maybe they take losses in the first 2-3 years. That's okay, though. They don't care. They're in it for the long term. They're not in it for the quick hit. And it's just a quick little nugget for some of the franchisors that are out there. Beef up your training and support teams. I'm aligned with a company called RoboThink. We grew that concept over the past 3 years from a startup in Chicago to 115 locations in 15 different countries. And this company, what really differentiates them and why they're on the path to greatness as far as a franchisor is because they go above and beyond on the training and the support. It's all about the training and the support. You can't give franchisees just a brand and a name and think they're going to succeed. It just doesn't work. It'll fail. Next one. So the major benefits versus other expansion models. Again, this is ability to enforce your brand standards. America is an incredibly litigious country, and you have lots of protection in your setting up. When you come in here, the first thing you want to do is file a trademark. You want to protect your brand. If you're thinking of 2 to 5 years down the road, possibly expanding into the country, protect your brand. It costs. It's nominal to protect your trademark, to protect your marks. You're setting up an LLC or a C Corp. You can set up a company, have it tax ID numbered and a bank account within 24 hours. It's super simple to set up a company, and then you're protected. FDIC and the banking here in America will protect against any type of fraud or any issues with your capital. So obviously an incredible, piece. Next. So again, the process here in America is the barrier of entry to come in and be a franchisor and franchise your business is through franchise disclosure document and creating that document. Filing it in each one of the states. There's about 13, 14 states that are a little bit harder than others. They're registration states. Filing in New York and filing in Florida are a completely different process. Just like I told you, we may be a big whole country, the United States of America, but we are, each state is run autonomously. So there's rules and regulations in each one of those states. But if you take the route, like I was saying, as far as finding a master franchise partner, you could sort of push that expense and that responsibility to your master partner so that you're sharing in the cost. And because you could be looking at anywhere between $75,000 to $100,000 to franchise your business, come up with an FDD, register within the states. The larger companies will charge, $250,000. So, there's that path is the barrier of entry, but, a lot of clients I'll say, hey, listen, this is the route to go. Let's find a franchise partner, somebody that wants to invest in your business before we file the franchise disclosures document, before we file into the states. Always protect your brand and the logo and the trademark. That should be something that you do right away. We help many international companies file their, with the USPTO trademarks ahead of time, even if they're thinking about it 2-3 years down the road. We're talking with clients that have not in mind. So if you're interested, obviously Topfranchise, Global Franchise Exchange, we're here to assist and even consult. It doesn't cost anything to just talk and come up with the strategy and plan and pick our brains. Next one. So these are, let's go on to the next, because I'm talking a little bit. Why enter the US market? I've talked about it. Again, 10 to 20 brands a year that are startup brands, their first year in franchising, will do, anywhere between 2.5 to 5 million in, franchise fee revenue. That is like the very, very elite. It's the, and then at the bottom of the barrel are the ones that will fail. Most will fail. Because it's just garbage what they're putting together, and the American people are sort of smart. If they're not, and they're tricked by some of these sales men or lured into a business opportunity that is, that just doesn't have any legs, just doesn't have the training and the support. Right? Training and support, key. That's why when you're going, and if you're looking into a franchise business here in America, that's another opportunity to invest in some of these high growing franchises from an international standpoint. These 10 to 20 brands come online, they're generating, store revenue or unit level revenue of $1 million plus their very first year. And they are the future Orange Theories, and territories go really quickly. So we assist foreign buyers with visas and just diversifying their income into this country, something that we can help you out at as well with Topfranchise and Global Franchise Exchange. But again, why enter the U.S. market? It's if you have the right brand, it is the mecca for franchising. The timing could not be better. Capital is abundant. There's, plenty of money. The age of the population, people are retiring. It's an older population that doesn't want to retire and is going into franchising. I've never seen it so strong, in the past, 10, 15 years, even, how strong it has been in the interest in franchising. It only continues to improve. Everything else, as far as the infrastructure, the litigious supply chain, it's all in place, everything for you. But you've got to be a great brand. You have to have succeeded, in your country, and you have to have something that is of value to the Americans, something that is unique. So we can assess that with you. Go ahead. How am I doing for time? Am I too far over? I can stop if we want to.
No. Continue.
Okay. So creating a plan, key considerations. Again, the best thing to do is to assess. Why do you want to come into this country? Because it's the mecca for franchising. If you can succeed here and you do well here, it will change your lives and your franchise lives. It'll expand. Putting presence here in America is obviously key. Not everybody does. You want to assess the situation, but bringing in a new concept, something that is different to this market, but in demand, right? Not necessarily a new brand. Do we need more gyms? No. Do we need more, types of food, burger places? Possibly. No. If you have that, don't bother. But if you have something unique, a technology that is unique, something that is different, that is successful in your country, is that diamond in the rough? Well, we want to talk to you. Because we can expand your brand. We can make you one of those 10 to 20 type brands. Talk to Vasil, talk to Victor. We'll talk together. We'll hop on a Zoom. We'll assess it. We'll see whether or not, you have that. Even if you're 2, 3, 4, 5 years, away from even penetrating that market. It's always good to consult with guys like Vasil and Victor. So, if you have a great new concept that you can bring into this market, everything is the infrastructure, the demand, the people, is there for a very rapid, expansion. Next. So create, this is just, we're going into creating a plan. Before we even create a plan, obviously we have to make sure that it's success. Then from there, we have to assess the pricing. We have to assess the competition. These are all things that we're going to initially do prior to you even considering or taking the minute. This is about, let's assess, let's see where you are. Maybe you're close, you've got a new concept, but you don't have enough, there's something, maybe a technology, or maybe there's support training, maybe there's systems that need to be tweaked. Let's take a look at that. Let's assess it. You go back, fix it over the next year, 2-3 years, whatever it may be, but we'll look at the pricing. We'll look at the competition. We'll look at who's out there and where your concept, new brand, burger, food, gym, forget about it. Stay home. Don't come into America. You're going to waste your money. Something unique, new concept. Let's talk. Let's talk, because this is the market for you. Next. Geography strategy, I talked to you. This country is very different state by state. How we run our beliefs, our political beliefs, our religious beliefs, our regulations, in New York compared to Florida or California is very different. If you don't understand the market, it's like if I was going to go and open up my own franchise and bring it into Russia, I wouldn't know the first thing about it. I'd go to Vasyl and Victor, Topfranchise, the experts in the market, to understand the market and guide me and consult and take me through that market. Same thing in America. It's extremely difficult market. You've got to understand, how do you reach and speak to the audience in each one of the regional markets? Which markets are the key cities that are going to adapt your brand? Northeast is very, very slow to adapt anything. That's why you see most of the brands come out of the West, out of the LA, California area, because New Yorkers, they're they don't want to be bothered to do it. They're standoffish. They're resistant. And I'm talking because I could say that because I'm a New Yorker, but that's why you see a lot of the brands come in through the West, out of LA, now out of Texas, out of Florida. And then as the concept gets accepted, those are key cities and markets. There are other ones too that you want to penetrate the market into as well. We can talk Topfranchise and Global Franchise Exchange. Next. So development strategy, again, for depending on the brand, obviously I think either the master franchise business opportunity, a partner, a large, well-capitalized, experienced. Well-capitalized means nothing if you don't have any experience. I'll take an experienced guy that's taken an Orange Theory and has 20, 30, 40 of them, was an early adapter, understands the market, maybe in different markets like Colorado, Florida, that really gets it and understands it, may not be as well capitalized as some other individual that's just has a lot of capital. All day, any day, every day, because that guy has the experience. He's going to help guide you. And that's essentially what we do too. We connect you with these guys. I've got the relationships with all of these individuals that have established these brands and are looking for the next greatest thing. If you're not going to go in there, maybe you're looking at a state area developer. You want to limit the headaches for yourselves as international brands. If you're running a business out of Europe or Asia or the Middle East, to have 250, if you grow to that point, units that you've got to handle, or essentially, especially in the beginning, having a state area developer, a master franchise developer that's in country that can handle all of that is going to give you the greatest odds of success, especially in this market. Is one I always say is the avenue to go. Because also, if you're looking at it from an American standpoint, they're very, and not all the time are you going to get somebody that's going to feel that confident with dealing with an Asian company or dealing with, a company out of the Middle East. And they want to see partners. That's why it's important. It's all about the comfort and stuff and whatnot. So we can discuss that as well. Next. Go ahead. Next one. So sources of information, market, research. We can go on to the next one. We'll just talk a little bit about, the marketing. Next slide, because I'm going over a little bit here. I apologize. Operational expert. It's not turning on mine. Hello. Go to the next one. Let's go. Let's keep going, just for time wise.
Something wrong with technical, you know, just lead.
Yeah. No. Take your time. Keep going. All right. So 4 steps to lead generation. This is just something that, you know, you can also look at in your market. You know, the key thing when you establish a franchise, you want to sell franchises, there's a sales process to it. Every franchise system, great franchise system has a sales process in it. But that sales process first starts with developing a franchise profile. What is, what does that individual look like? Where does he come from? What does his background look like? What does his personality, look like? You've got to assess, and when you look at your franchise, decide, okay, who exactly is that ideal person? What is his track record? Before you even go to the step of creating your message, because then once you create, you find who that buyer is, you develop that, okay, so what motivates this buyer? What are the opportunities that he's going to potentially be looking for? Let's take that Orange Theory individual, that multi-unit operator. He can't expand anymore, right? Because there's no, Orange Theory is completely sold out. There are many brands like that where there's no more available territories, or the territories that are available are there. So there's, okay, this is the profile of this. He wants something bigger. He wants something that's new again. He wants to get into something in the early infancy stages, and sit at a higher level. These guys are the ideal. These are my profile for certain international master franchise concepts that come into the States. These are the persons. So creating that profile, you should be doing that in country as well. What is the profile of your buyer? What is the ideal franchisee that you're looking for? Then create your message to them, so that, and looking at the avenues. Next. Here in America, what has happened here, the franchise opportunity websites, probably taken a backseat, for fact, have taken a backseat to franchise brokers. All of the top best franchise brokers that used to 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, used to work for the franchisors on their development teams, have gone on to become franchise brokers, because, the average, salary for one of these guys that just are focused in the United States, just are finding potential buyers for franchisors, are getting paid handsomely. $500,000, $1 million and a half is like average salary of what these guys have made. So what has happened now is the quality and the talent in each one of these franchises, as far as the development team, has dropped a little bit, because your best salesmen have gone, why sell one brand when I can sell a lot of different brands? So what that has also created now is franchisors having to pay pretty decent money up front to franchise brokers for procuring buyers for them. So long story short, this has become very prevalent here in America. The way that you want to grow, if it's a great concept, if it's a new system, new technology, your fastest way to grow is through franchise brokers, backed by public, PR. Franchise expos, they're dead. They're at least in America. IFE Expo in New York City, Jacob Javits Center, I was just at. Is extremely small. It's in America. Don't waste your money. It's a complete waste of money, spending 20, 30, 40, 50,000. The people that were at the IFE Expo in New York City, there was empty booths and whatnot, but, internationally it's different, and that's where you want to talk with Vasil and know where you're spending, because every single dollar that you spend on your brand is so important, and you want to shoot with a rifle. You want to make sure it's exact, it's precise. It's okay. Where do I get the most bang for my buck, the highest return on an investment, for my brand? And that's, Vasil and Victor at Top Franchise have a really good handle on that internationally, where to go. So next. Okay, so let's. I've been going way over, so I'm not going to go into this. This is a follow, a 6-step franchise investigation process that, we can discuss further. I can help. I'm more than willing. Vasil and Victor at Topfranchise are my good friends, and I'll do anything for these guys. Anybody has any questions, it costs you nothing to ask. It costs you nothing to get on a Zoom call, a WhatsApp. Pick my brains. I'm more than willing to help out. Anybody that is a friend of Topfranchise with Vasil and Victor are friends of mine. So, pick my brain, utilize me. 25 years in the experience in the market. I've helped brands expand not only in America but throughout the world. I have got partners, in every location throughout the world. My website is Fran Exchange, FRANXCHANGE.com. You can go to that website, learn a little bit about me, set up an appointment with me, or go through Vasil, and I'll leave my email as well. But thank you. Always appreciate the opportunity to speak for Topfranchise, and follow what these guys are doing. They're doing amazing work. Topfranchise is one of the best out there in the world.
Alex, thank you for so beautiful and so emotional speech. It was really, really so emotional. I can see that you really love your deal, what you're doing. So it was very amazing, so emotional, very good, with love. It was really with love.
Yeah.
And thank you very much that you're here with us, and thank you for your speech one more time.
My pleasure.
And
My pleasure.
don't forget to leave your contacts. Okay.
Yes.
Here or maybe under the broadcast, it depends on you. And also thank you for a review about us, about our company. We really try to do our best, and we'll do it, and we'll be the best from the best.
Yes.
I'm sure
you do an amazing job. Excellent job. All of you are doing great.
Thank you very much, Alex. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Nice to hear you. So thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much. So nice seeing you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we are continue our global franchise configuration, and now I would like to speak with Khalid. Khalid, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, I can hear you. I can see you. I'm glad to see you. And how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much, Julia, for the invitation, and I very much appreciate being part of this very, I would say, enriching event with guests from around the globe, and share the experience of Saudi Arabia and the franchising spectrum. So again, thank you so much for the kind invite. Glad to be here.
Okay, you can start because I know that you have a little time.
Thank you so
let's
much.
start.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Let me share the screen if you don't mind. Let me share the screen.
Yes, of course. Okay, good luck. Do it.
All right, cool. Here you go. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I see it perfectly. Thank you.
All right. Okay, cool. So again, I would like to thank my friends Julia and Vasil for the invite, and it's great to be part of the Global Franchise Conference. I'm going to talk today very briefly, due to the time limitation, about a very nascent and new market in franchise, which is the Saudi market. And when I say it's new and nascent, I mean it's in terms of regulations, in terms of structuring, it is taking, I would say, great maturity steps in terms of building a solid ecosystem in terms of franchise. And that's why around 2 years ago, the government of Saudi Arabia decided to structure a franchise development center so that we can oversee, so that we can support and oversee the activities in this area. I'm going to go briefly about the things that we've done in the past few years, including some of the enablers and main pillars. So for us, the franchise is definitely one of the major economical excuse me, major economical contributions in the overall GDP, and we want to basically make sure that we have more local brands rather than just having people opening stores without having any quality control or any structured approach to the market. That's why we wanted to emphasize on franchise as a winning entrepreneurial choice for every possible entrepreneur. We focused on 5 main pillars, which is basically providing a one-stop shop platform, similar to our friends at Topfranchise have, to help brands, the franchisees and franchisors connect. We do provide help in terms of accessibility to finance. We have agreements with some sort of financiers, that is commercial banks and companies, to help franchisees have access to the finance, and also provide, and this is very important, to provide some realistic I would say qualified data and studies related to franchise ecosystem in the kingdom and regionally and around the globe, and also we facilitate business opportunities in terms of expanding geographically. Sorry. And finally, we're trying to raise awareness in terms of franchising as a business choice, as a platform. And these are, this takes us to the enabler, the work streams, the most, I would say, the core enablers that we focus on, which is capacity building, brand support, awareness, basically helping the franchise ecosystem, and financing facilitation. I'm going quickly about talk about the compound effect by implementing these main objectives that we are after here, which is expansion of local brands into franchisable systems, increasing the diversity of these brands in priority sectors. In Saudi Arabia, most of the brands, like every other country in the world, we have a lot of F&B and retail. Around 80% of the franchisable brands in Saudi are into these 2 sectors. We want to get into more sectors like the healthcare, like the entertainment, like the energy, and etc. I think that will give us a depth in terms of excuse me. I don't know what's happening today. I'm coughing a lot. In terms of the employment opportunities, and also give us a lot of economical diversification in terms of our economy. Increasing the number of franchisable brands in the Saudi market, increase the number of units that is around the globe, in terms of having different outlets in different geographical areas. We have a lot of concentrated cities in the kingdom, like Riyadh, like capital, like Jeddah, like Dammam. But we want to have these brands open in less, I would say, urban cities, like in the northern part of the country, region, also the southern region of the country. We would like to give employment opportunities to people in these less urban cities. We need to increase the investment opportunities for Saudi entrepreneurs as franchisees, and also increase the number of funding available for franchisees and franchisees. So the compounded effect of all these objectives is developing an investment opportunity, supporting small and big enterprises, and developing the franchise sector quantitatively and quality. I'm going to go quickly through these I would say enablers that we talked about. One of the most important things that we've basically done for the franchise ecosystem is basically activating the franchise registration in terms of concession agreements, and having a foreign or expatriate brands that want to expand to the kingdom, the Saudi kingdom, which is very tempting, by the way, in terms of purchasing power. And I think that's very well known in terms of purchasing power, in terms of economical impact. I think Saudi is a very tempting market, and it's a destination for a lot of expatriate brands to open in Saudi. And we have a lot of opportunities in different sectors in that regard. We did increase or facilitate dispute resolution as a service from the center, just to help the regularities achieve a better operational, I would say, excellence, and make sure that most of the litigation is actually mitigated, involving the private sector more and more, and also increasing the facilitating mediation. In terms of the awareness and education, again, we're launching a lot of campaigns. We just launched a huge campaign about 6 weeks ago. It's called Franchise is Wisdom. So it's called under that tagline, Al-Imtiyaz Hikmah in Arabic, which is something that entrepreneurs should actually seek franchise as an entrepreneurial option, because it is definitely riskier than other entrepreneurial ventures. We do organize exhibitions. Hopefully next year in the kingdom we have a big international exhibition that we invite everybody to join us. Especially our friends in Topfranchise will be part of this exhibition, the global exhibition, and have their own pavilion in that regard. And also we're working with other basically targeting new brands and basically high-end brands in different locations and different markets. Like, for example, now we're talking about our friends at Topfranchise to target some of the top brands, Russian brands, to start operating in Saudi, find investment opportunities, and connecting to possible franchisees and franchisees. Going through, we do provide programs that help unfranchisable or basically brands that go through self-growth and they expand on their own, to consider franchise as an option. So we help them develop a franchisable kit for them to operate under a franchisable kit, and actually make the business model more tempting for potential franchisees to take the potential franchisors to take the opportunity and grow in that regard. And also we provide them with all the legal requirements in terms of giving them the opportunity to work on the disclosure agreements that is in accordance with the law and regulations of the kingdom, and also work with different business models in a franchisable manner. That's about the brand support. In terms of capacity building, we do offer a lot of training programs through the Academy Munshat and the Franchise Center to help aspiring franchisees to take these training programs and be more qualified when they get the chance to work or to expand a certain brand. And also we provide advisory services. We do a lot of advisory services through different channels, either through the support centers that are located around the kingdom, or also through virtual means, through the application or the platform that we provide. So we do have advisory services around the clock to help them. We provide even consultations and workshops in different areas in terms of law and regulations, in terms of business modeling, in terms of managing a franchise, in terms, etc. A lot of capacity building programs. Finally, we do, probably I mentioned this at the beginning, we do help also in terms of financing the facilitation of franchise opportunities. We work with banks like the ones that you see here to provide financing programs and financing products. Till date, we have financed more than 100 beneficiaries in terms of basically helping them get them on their, like they say, get them on their feet and to start these franchise opportunities in different areas. And we so far we're finding it as a huge success. So all in all, what I'm trying to say, sorry to to talk so fast due to the time limitation. I just wanted to say that compared to Alex's presentation, the US, Russia, and other countries are much more mature than the Saudi market. But we at the Kingdom here, we are very ambitious about the franchise. We are definitely very keen in developing a more of a solid franchise ecosystem that definitely welcome both local and expatriate brands to operate and create more economical diversification. We are still learning, and we're very ambitious about what's coming. And I would like again to thank Julia and Raudsepp for the invitation. And I'm so glad to be here today. I'm here. If you have any interest in the Saudi market, please let me know, and I'll be here to answer any questions. Thank you so much.
Khalid, thank you very much for your speech. Thank you very much. Don't forget to leave your contacts, okay, under broadcast, or maybe if you like, you can leave it here. We will hand it over, okay?
I'll do that. I'll do
okay,
that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Julia, for the invitation. And if you excuse me, I'm gonna put the contacts here, and I have to do the other meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Khalid. Bye bye. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so our franchise global conference is over, and I want to say thank you to all our speakers. We really appreciate that you was here with us. You introduced yourself. You helped to understand some questions, you know, about franchise and franchising, and I just want to repeat one more time that our conference can be viewed in the recording, so you can see it. Also, just a little, just to summarize the results. So everyone has the same advice to enter the international market. And I agree with it. And I invite you to our platform, to our website, topfranchise.com, to make your placement there, because with us you can get a lot of leads. You will be known in over 100 countries. So just come to us. We leave our contacts under the broadcast, and still, if you have any questions, you can ask. We will also hand it over to the speaker. And so thank you, listeners, that you were with us. Thank you very much, everybody. So have a good day, have a good week, and have a good business, good success. And okay, finishing. Bye-bye.